Hey everyone, Chris here with another filler episode, and what you're looking at now is the Starship Cube Master. This is a Minecraft project I have been working on for months now. Well, okay, not that many months. I only started it in early August, but still, it is a massive freaking starship, basically. Though, actually, it's not just a shell of a ship. Like, I mean, some people who make these Minecraft creations, they just make the outside. They don't really do the inside or anything. Now, this is a fully realized Minecraft base, complete with 7 decks, nearly 100 rooms. This thing's freaking massive. And please excuse the fact that the frame rate's kind of stuttering at the moment. Because, yeah, you can see I'm hosting a server at the moment. I'm running the client myself. Got some friends in here helping me decorate some of the rooms. And I'm trying to record footage all at the same time on my dinky little dual-core 2 GHz system. So, yeah, it's it's chugging along as best as it can. But yeah, in any case, right now I'm just panning around the outside. I got my friends in here helping me with some of the empty rooms because the ship's not actually done yet. I know it looks done on the outside, but many of the rooms are still empty. They're supposed to be like the crew cabins, but I didn't want to just decorate myself. Otherwise it would be, it'd be very bland. So I'm having them, helping to decorate those crew cabins. And I'm telling them right now about hidden messages. Every good artist hides something in their images. At least every good artist, I think. I don't know. For some reason, his is the only skin that's working right now. All of us have skins, but I don't know. It's just weird. Minecraft skin server's been very temperamental lately. And yeah, the doors. I wanted to have some kind of automated door in this thing, but the trouble with automated doors is that if you use pressure plates, because that was my original idea, was make them pressure plates. That way you just walk through the doors. But the problem with pressure plates is that going the opposite direction, like the direction away from the door, there's always the potential to hit the pressure plate, walk towards the door, and have the door close immediately after you get off the pressure plate as a result of timing in the engine. So what ends up happening is you get stuck in front of the pressure plate, in front of the door. It's like, how do you even get out of that? You just go backwards and go over the pressure plate again. It's just annoying. So I tried buttons, and you can get used to buttons, but even that's hard. I guess it's not that bad. I mean, that's the danger of what happens. You just don't have enough time to go through, but it's not that bad, really. You just have to get used to it. So right here we have the disposal room, which is right near the airlocks, which is why I'm looking at it first. I decided to have like just a simple step-by-step routine so that you go up on the platform, aim at the green bricks, and there you go. Seemed like a better solution than to just have lava sitting around that people could accidentally dive into or something. I've actually got things on the ceiling so that it's impossible to actually jump past those. And here's one of the empty rooms. Because as I said, there's a bunch of rooms on the ship right now that are empty that are supposed to be crew cabins. So that's what my friends are doing right now, are going through the ship, looking for those empty rooms and just making them not empty. And I guess I'll see later on just how good a job they did. And hopefully they won't break anything. Though knowing my friends, this ship will probably be self-destructed by the time I'm done. I actually had a thought about wiring all kinds of self-destruct stuff through the ship, but then I would have had to make it much bigger than it actually is, just to fit in all the wiring. I'm not that good at redstone wiring to begin with anyways. And here's one of the bathrooms. Yeah, I actually put port and starboard bathrooms on my Starship on deck 2. Because the real Enterprise doesn't have them, and this is not actually meant to be any particular class of starship from the Next Generation or Deep Space Nine or any of those Star Trek series. It's just meant to be my own little starship, so... Well, okay, the bathrooms almost work. They have non-working toilets, but what do you expect out of Minecraft, really? And this is the sick bay here, complete with its own little office for the Chief Medical Officer. and some cargo. Yes, not really that big of a thing, that room. Though here we have the alchemy lab, which has some brewing stands, some chests for stuff, has a little water thing in the corner so that you got unlimited water going on. So that's a useful room. A much less useful room is this one right here, which is the arena. Yes, seriously, there is an arena in my ship. I figure might as well, it's a Minecraft place. Yeah, it even has grandstands for people to watch. I wanted to make them 2-level grandstands, but there just wasn't enough room in there. And here we have the main bridge, the control center of the entire ship. Because, you know, every ship's got to have a bridge of some sort. And of course a captain's chair. To get a nice big view of the view screen. Actually, that's something you probably noticed by now are those red bricks everywhere. Because Minecraft doesn't really have anything that makes or sort of looks like computer panels, I decided to use red bricks as computer panels. Which is what I'm telling my friends right now, actually. I figured it'd be the simpler approach rather than downloading mods, because I didn't want to run any mods in this so that anybody could actually download and try this map out for themselves. Because I do actually have a download link for this on my website, so be sure to check that out so you can explore the ship and see all the rooms that I don't show you in this video. Now, one thing that's kind of neat is because there's no way to do elevators in Minecraft, I have instead things called ladder shafts. And there's 3 of them on this ship. There's 2 ladder shafts that run between decks 1 and 4, and then 1 main ladder shaft that runs from decks 2 to 7. I couldn't make the main shaft run all the way up to deck 1 without really obstructing the view from the observation lounge at the back of the bridge, so yeah, that's why the main one doesn't run all the way up to the top. Though right here we have the library, equipped with an enchanting table, because that's kind of important for any library in Minecraft. And yeah, that's at the front of the ship there. And what is my friend doing to the bridge? Is he spawning mod? Well, he can't spawn mod. I turned the difficulty off. What's going on? Anyways, this here is the, oh, for crying out loud, what is... Hang on a moment. Where's the... Better get my sword out. There we go. Okay, let's see what kind of damage my friends are causing. Bridge looks relatively normal. Maybe it's in the ready room. Ow. It's a hole in the floor. Okay then. My guess is something a lot more interesting happened while I was not there. I'll have to ask him about that later. Now this here's the crew deck, and as you might have noticed, I've actually color-coded every single deck to a different color. Deck 1 is orange, Deck 2 is red, Deck 3 is purple, Deck 4 is... I'll save the explanation for this room, because this is stellar cartography here. This room is pretty epic. You guys remember stellar cartography from Star Trek Generations, the movie? Well, I kind of wanted to have a stellar cartography that was like that. Floating platform, massive screen. I just thought that'd be cool. But yeah, Deck 1 is orange, Deck 2 is red, Deck 3 is purple, Deck 4 is yellow, Deck 5 is green, Deck 6 is blue, and Deck 7 is cyan. So, there you go. Those are your deck colors. Now this room is pretty cool. This is the Arboretum. Huge room in the middle of the ship. On Deck 3, crosses into Deck 2 as well. It actually has little holes in the ceiling which go outside so that when it's sunny outside, the sunlight actually gets in here. But even without the sunlight, I've got the room lit up pretty well. I actually had to put lights down by the bases of the trees in order to actually get the room to light up at all, really. And just adjacent from the Arboretum is the mess hall. I kind of modeled it after the one in Voyager. Kinda. It's actually quite a bit smaller. Sort of. I don't know. This room is just... I had to put something in here. And it's at the front of the ship, just like, 10 forward in Star Trek Next Generation. Couldn't really call it 10 forward because it's on deck 3, so I guess it would be 3 forward or something like that. I don't know. Now, please forgive all the fade cuts if I haven't said that already. It's like, there's a lot of footage I have here of me just going to all the different rooms, and some of them really aren't all that interesting. Like, the room I just passed on the left there, did you really want me to go take a look at just a tiny little coolant processor for the computer core? That's what I thought. Though the first room I'm going to take a look at down here is auxiliary control. It's kind of like a mini bridge, so to speak. Basically, if the main bridge is damaged, the crew comes down here and they can still control the ship. It was an idea that was introduced on the original series Star Trek. Oh, yeah, these rooms. My friends were wondering about these rooms. I'm still not completely sure what I'm going to call these rooms. I don't know. They just have floating lava. They're going to be like fuel rooms or something. I don't know. Ooh, now here's a dangerous room. The Brig. Because, I had to have a Brig on here. And it's got the... Okay, Minecraft bugs. When they made the update, it's like the levers work, but the doors don't always appear open. I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, one lever controls one door, one lever controls the other door, supposedly. Yeah. But yeah, that's the Brig. Complete with glass to keep the prisoners from escaping. Yeah, I couldn't really think of any way to do force fields that looked okay. Complete with the doors that would open and everything. Yeah, I just made it more representative rather than practical as far as Minecraft is concerned. Yeah, cruising at 12 meters. Yeah, the ship is seriously only 12 meters off the ground in terms of Minecraft physics. The deck 5 is the umbilical deck. Now this is kind of interesting because it's so small. I mean, when you really think about it, just imagine how small the umbilical deck on, like, the Star Trek ships must be. Because this is the deck that actually connects the saucer section with the drive section. So it's really tiny. Though I'd managed to make it seem bigger by adding the impulse engines here, like being able to go inside. And apparently it's raining outside, so... Yeah, raining on a starship. Well, it's not like you can build in outer space yet. At least not without mods. Now this here is really freaky. This is the deflector dish of the ship, as seen from the inside. I don't know, but this thing... When I made this, I wanted to make it seem as dangerous as possible. Like it... Okay, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with cathode ray tubes, but if you've ever seen the inside of a cathode ray tube, this kind of reminds me of that, and it always just freaks me out. Just the idea of such a high voltage, dangerous thing. Of course, this is Minecraft. This thing's about as dangerous as a piece of paper, but you get the idea. It looks like it would fry you if you set your finger on it, or just breathed on it or something. Yeah. And it is actually the deflector dish, because if I punch my way out of this ship here, you can see it's the deflector dish. I left very little margin of error while designing this thing. There's only 2 blocks between every single deck. So I had to be really careful about, you know, just ceiling areas and stuff. That's part of the reason why the ceilings and the hallways are 1 block lower, so that I could have the track lighting above. And it's also why I have all those light strips and everything. Though here we have engineering, split into 3 levels. I was already on the 3rd level, showing the impulse area. And we'll get back to that when I get down to the engineering level, because right now we're on the maintenance deck. And this here's the impulse waste control, because those actually go up to the impulse engines. Everything's connected in some way. Ooh, here's the shuttle bay. Well, the overhead of the shuttle bay anyways, the control center. But yeah, I actually, the Starship's nacelles, like the warp nacelles, were the first things I designed. Okay, let me try that again. The Starship nacelles were the first things I designed for this thing, and then the shuttle bay was the second thing, because I figured the only way to get a good idea of what the size should be would be to figure out how big the shuttle should be, and then build 2 decks around the shuttles, and then 1 deck would be half the size of the shuttle bay's height, and that's sort of how I figured that out. Now here's main engineering again from the main floor, and yeah, it's a big reactor core. I kind of wish I could make it brighter, but it was kind of hard to do. Now there's power rails running along the engineering deck. Fuel containers, supposedly diamond fuel. Now here we are in the actual shuttle bay, and as you can see, the shuttles are fully realized areas. You can climb inside, pretend you're at the controls of a shuttlecraft. Yeah. Well, hey, it was interesting when I built it, okay? The shuttlecraft, or the bay doors don't obviously open simply because they're massive. No way you could get something like that massive to open on this thing. Well, I'm sure someone somewhere could probably think of something, but remember, I'm not using any mods here, so... And then we have one of the cargo bays. Nothing too special about the cargo bays, of course, though they do go out to the airlocks, which I'm actually just remembering now because I told them to go to the airlocks on the saucer section earlier, but I kind of forgot about the ones on the star drive. Yeah. When you have over 90 rooms to keep track of, I think I counted 93 last time. It's so easy to lose count. This thing is so big. I've never made anything this huge. My largest Minecraft base before now only had about, I think, 9 rooms. So having to deal with nearly 100 is just insane. But yeah, another one of the airlocks. Goes outside, and it's raining right now. Still raining, I should say. And yeah. Raining on a starship. Could it get any more surreal? The one thing that's really cool, these nacelles, as I said, I did the nacelles first, so that I could get an idea of the size of everything. These nacelles, like this area I'm pointing at now, you know how... You remember that one particular Star Trek The Next Generation episode where they actually go inside one of the nacelle tubes? Guess where we're going? There's actually several access points to the nacelle tubes, but there's one for each in the cargo bays, and then you can also reach them from deflector control. You put a cake in one of the rooms. And here we are. We're in the nacelle tube. I had no idea what to make the Bassard collector look like, so I just put a bunch of gold bricks and a lava thingy in it. But as for the main part of the nacelle tube, well, here you go. I always found this look in The Next Generation fascinating. And it's kind of been what's sort of been my driving force in just liking the design of Star Trek ships in general. But yeah, giant freaking set of warp coils. I think there's 12 of them. Yeah, there should be 12. And of course, since lava doesn't stay in midair, I had to encase the entire thing in glass. The tricky part wasn't so much building this thing, but it was making sure that both tubes were identical. Because, like, I mean, once I had the first nacelle tube up and I started making more of the ship, eventually I had to make the second one. And then I also had to take other design considerations into account, too, like things you wouldn't necessarily think of. Like, I mean, the Bussard collectors in Star Trek lore collect particles that hit them and convert them into energy while the ship is moving. So it stands to reason that there shouldn't actually be any obstructions in front of the Bussard collectors. So something I had to keep in mind while designing the saucer section was to make sure that none of the decks of the saucer section actually got in front of the Bussard collectors, otherwise the ship wouldn't make any sense. So there's just little design considerations like that, things you wouldn't have never thought about if you were just making a ship just for the heck of it. One last thing I'm going to show you guys here is that because I intended for other people to use this ship in their own Minecraft worlds, if it's even possible to do that, I have these control nodes scattered around. There's 8 of them in total, on each of the corners that represent the box that encompasses the entire ship. So these control nodes are basically used to help do a copy-paste operation, if it's even possible. I know copy-paste operations were possible in Minecraft Classic, like before the survival element got added and everything, but I have no idea if it can be done in this without mods or anything, or even with mods, come to think of it. And there's the other control points. They're each color-coded so that if you pick one particular color, then the opposite node that you would have to select will be the same color. So if you pick the green one there, you'd go to the opposite side, find the other green one, and there's the opposite side you want. Hooray, it stopped raining, finally. Jeez, it's been raining like almost the entire time I've been doing this. Well, at least half of it. But in any case, now that it stopped raining, I figure it's time to call it a video, because I've got a ton of footage now, and I really should start getting more work done on this. I got lots of signs to put up, lots of doors to put up, all kinds of stuff. And I gotta make sure my friends still aren't breaking everything, so yeah. So that's all for this video. Stay tuned for the next filler. Should be coming 2 Saturdays from now. Don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'll think of something. I always do. Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.